Welcome back, my dear students. The Address by Marga Minko, Fiction 2, Part 2. A story from your book, Snapshot. As you know, it is for supplementary reader. So, I requested you earlier to read the whole chapter line by line, and I will help you just by providing you the summary and question answers. So, are you ready? So, here I am going to discuss the NCERT questions which are important, and some exam practice also will do today. Some extra questions also I have designed for you for your benefit. I will ask questions from this chapter in the exam. So this is an important chapter actually, so you must prepare it properly. Let us start. Question answers. Question number 1. Have you come back? Said the woman. I thought that no one had come back. Does this statement give some clue about the story? If yes, what is it? So I am predicting that you are saying yes and you are searching for the answer. So if you are saying yes, then definitely I thought that no one had come back shows that she has already thought that no one comes after the war. So definitely she will be benefited. But what happened? She is alive and she has come back. So here you can refer to the two families who knew each other and how after war she comes back and how it was not expected by Mrs. Darling, and in this way how she has breached the trust, and how narrator's mother left all her belongings with her without thinking that what she will do with those things, whether she will give back to her daughter or not. So all these points you can write in your own way. Question number 2. The story is divided into pre-war and post-war times. What hardships do you think the girl underwent during these times? So it is all about pre-war and post-war, before war and after war. So what were the hardships the girl, means the narrator, underwent? So some of the examples are clearly mentioned in your book, like how she ate black bread, how she lived in camps, how she went to the woman for asking her own things and she could not get back her belongings. There is also one example in the book at the end of the chapter, how she lived in a small room in poverty, and that's why she consoled herself that I will not take these things because I have a small room. So all these points you can write here in the pre-war and post-war times. Question number 3. Why did the narrator of the story want to forget the address? Definitely the thing which is not pleasant we always like to forget. Here in this chapter, narrator's mother, she gave all her belongings to Mrs. Dorling, and what she did, she kept all those things in a tasteless manner. She used the furniture, and when the narrator entered that room, she could find those ugly furnitures and that unpleasant smell which evoked her memory of war. And all these things, and the behavior of Mrs. Dorling, all these things, she lost her emotional attachment with those belongings. And this way, the narrator of the story wants to forget. Question number 4. The Address is a story of human predicament that follows war. So human predicament means human condition. How people are changed completely after the war. War causes big changes in lives. Mrs. Darling, due to war's dehumanizing effect, becomes cruel and selfish. All her feelings of love and sympathy was killed, And later, seeing the pathetic condition of her mother's belongings, the narrator also refuses to take them. So, the address is really a story of human mental condition, how it changes, how people become cruel. I remember I read one story in which it was wartime and the mothers they saw their children cut into 4 pieces and they could not speak anything. They just saw it. So this thing happened. War changes people a lot. Now question number 1, 2, A, B. Answer in 30 to 40 words and answer in 100 to 150 words. These 2 questions I have designed as extra questions, though extra homework I am giving you, but these 2 questions A and B better you write in your CW. Homework because you are doing at home only. So in your CW you have to write these. One is a letter, that is very important for you. Let us start first with A1. What was Mrs. S' opinion about Mrs. Darling? Mrs. S here is mother of narrator. Yes. So what was Mrs. S' opinion about Mrs. Darling? So some value points I have written that she thought that she's a very positive lady, very caring, sincere and trustworthy. All the positives Mrs. S thought about Mrs. Darling. So those things you can mention here. Question number 2. Why did Mrs. Darling refuse to even talk to the narrator? What do you guess? Yes, I think the same thing you are thinking. It was unexpected for her that she would be alive and she would come back to take her things. And when she saw her, then definitely her reaction was that she has come to take back all her belongings, and that's why she refused to even talk to her. Okay. Now question number B1. Imagine you means all my students, you are Mrs. Darling. You are filled with guilt. You're guilty at what you have done with the narrator. You are uncomfortable with what had happened and now you're realizing your mistake. Write a letter to your friend describing your feelings and your desire to make correction, to make amends. So you have to write a letter to your friend telling her that I am feeling sorry and I would like to make amend, do corrections, I'd like to give you back your things, something like that you can design and write. And now the last question is, what human values did Mrs. S possess which was totally unlike to Mrs. Darling? Means contrast the characters here. So about Mrs. S you can write that she was very trustworthy lady, she was very innocent lady, generous also, and above all she was influenced by Mrs. Darling. But unlike her, Mrs. Darling, she is very cruel, very cunning, and at the end of the chapter we come to know that how she refused to even talk to the narrator, the daughter of Mrs. S. So here compare and contrast, this you have to do. I hope you have understood. So this was all from my side. If you have any doubts, always feel free to contact me. Thank you so much. The address part 2, the concluding part is done today. See you. Till then, bye.